I am Johnny Massacre and welcome to my world. This is the cheeky live stream number 100 and something, a pre-game to Trump's inauguration. I cannot wait. This is basically a test to make sure my computer doesn't explode when the big moment comes when Trump is sworn in. The age of orange, 4 years of the Trumpster. Let's fucking go, bro. Let's go. yes. So it's a little bit of a pre-game now, just in the build-up to the Trumpster being inaugurated. So that's what it is, bruv. That's what it is. I see a few peeps in the comments. I see Ambionics UK. I see Mirror the 80s. I see Roman King. What is happening, everybody? Shall I put on the text-to-speech? It's going to get really messy if we're going to have the messed up robot voice and there's going to be an echo. Brad W's here.
Roman King says sure thing. Roman King says sure thing.
It's going to be like this. Is this what we're doing? I think it is what we're doing. Oh, lot of mercy. Yo, I got loads of shit. Wait, fucking hell, I need my Trump bracelet.
Says damn David Lynch Pastor Tuxweary 65 creator of Deadly Premonition sent his condolences last week. Mirror D80s says damn David Lynch Pastor Tuxweary 65 creator of Deadly Premonition sent his condolences last week.
The Twin Peaks.
Roman King says it's gonna get wild. Roman King says it's gonna get wild.
It's gonna get super wild, mate. We just need to keep the Trumpster alive. That's my main concern, seriously. He's actually gone and done it. He actually does what a president is supposed to do.
Slub says long live the God Emperor.
Yeah.
Slub says long live the God Emperor.
Indeed, like he clearly just cares about America and clearly cares about making it successful and the American people. It's so obvious.
Daniel Rubin says, hell yeah. Daniel Rubin says, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, indeed. Hell yeah, indeed. How's the stream holding up? Is it holding up all right? The Trumpster. Yes, this is so good, bro. Look what I got. I've got one Davidoff signature, but check this out. I got two Romeo and Juliet Cubans. My side piece gave this to me. Look at this double barrel, bitches. Let's fucking go. Let us go. Not only that.
Slub says sounds echoing. Slub says sounds echoing.
Yeah, it's
King says your robot has Tourette's lol.
That's
King says your robot has Tourette's lol.
This is part of the experience.
He says great to see all the comments, brothers and sisters.
Indeed.
D80s says great to see all the comments, brothers and sisters.
Dude, I got my ashtray, I got my Cuban cigars, I got that, I got the fucking Holy Bible with a little flower in the back. Oh, it's gone. Well, there's a flower that my mother gave me. It's all smushed up, but... And, bro, do you know what else I got?
Says big F. Roman King says big F.
Do you know what else I got? Oh, out of mercy. Look what I got.
Slub says that voice smoked 50 Hamlet FFS. Slub says that voice smoked 50 Hamlet FFS.
Bro, I got the shampers, mate.
Robot. Brad W says, RFK robot.
My side piece got me this as well. Tattinger and Bollinger. Wow. Oh my god. I'm fucking ready. I am so ready. I'm so fucking ready for this. I cannot wait. It's all here. We're ready to go. We're ready to rumble like crumble, bruv. Oh my god. So
Daniel Rubin says, would you ever come rock climbing in the US? Daniel Rubin.
Of course.
Says, would you ever come rock climbing in the US?
Yeah, of course I'll do that. Of course, mate. Of course. Is that an invitation?
PH Joy says, I should be in bed, but mates, the pre-funk today was great. Loved watching Trump try not to upstage the village people amid his desire to dance along.
That was great.
PH Joy says, I should be in bed, but mates, the pre-funk today was great. Loved watching Trump try not to upstage the village people amid his desire to dance along. Slub says all Labour MPs not invited.
Oh no.
Slub says all Labour MPs not invited. Roman King says Yumbrook. Roman King says Yumbrook. PH Joy says, Johnny got a lover?
No.
PH Joy says,
Definitely not.
Johnny got a lover?
Definitely not.
Daniel Rubin says, hell yeah. Daniel Rubin says, hell yeah.
No. No time for that shit. So, man, okay. So can I tell you how much of a nightmare I've been having with my Mac? You want to hear this fucking story? Oh, Lord of mercy, right? Right. Listen to my woes. So I'm broadcasting live from a prehistoric fossil pulled from a tar pit in which are multiple fossils from the Cretaceous period, one of which is this laptop, my old laptop that I have to use because my other one, the HDMI port wasn't working. So the monitor over here, which is critical to doing a live stream, so I can see all the back end and all the streaming software and stuff, it just doesn't work anymore. I can do it on a dongle, but it's horrible and glitchy and just terrible because you know what dongles are like. And the back of my Mac on the left, the panel underneath, it wasn't flush with the rest of the Mac. It was sticking out. So I pressed it and popped it back into place. But I thought it's got to be something to do with that because that was on the same side as the HDMI port. Took my Mac to Apple, told them there's a problem with the HDMI. They had it for a whole week. Time's ticking away, man. Donald Trump's inauguration is coming. I need my Mac back real soon. And then they give it back after a week and they said we couldn't recreate the problem. Put in the HDMI, still didn't work. So I reckon those nerds at Apple just ran a bunch of diagnostic tests and didn't do the obvious thing, which is like plug the fucking cable in, see if that shit works. Not only that, do you know what they did? They wiped my hard drive. They wiped the whole fucking thing. Now I know that they can do this. When you submit your Mac for repairs, they say, have you backed up, blah, 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 because they could wipe it. They repaired my Mac just over a month ago. And it had serious physical damage on the top where I dropped this heavy mic on it. Serious physical damage. They replaced the top casing, the keyboard, the microphone, everything. Didn't wipe my hard drive. But when they tested my HDMI port and didn't even find anything wrong with it, they wiped my whole hard drive. So I was trying to restore everything in time for this stream so I could have a decent Mac that I can rely on. And I've got a RAID system, which is basically multiple hard drives that are kind of interleaved with one another. So if one fails, the other one kicks in. And it's not really that Mac friendly. So I tried to restore it from that. And first of all, it took me ages to work out how to do this. And like the password for the RAID system wasn't working. And I couldn't connect to the RAID system from the new Mac, and I was trying to, there's like passwords upon passwords and all and like mounting the disk and all this kind of stuff. Eventually I was restoring it and it was over Wi-Fi, so I thought that's the only way you can do it. 10 megabytes per second, it's like 3 terabytes of data. So it said it was going to take 300 hours to finish, like 10 fucking days plus. It got to about 33%, and this was a few days ago, and I was using my hairdryer and cooking something at the same time, and because I live in a building that's full of prostitutes, this dirty old building has a terrible electricity system, grid, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't cook something and do my hair at the same time. It popped the Wi-Fi and it froze. So I lost about 4 days worth of restoring the hard drive. So then I was using AI to try to work out how to do it on Ethernet. And it told me, yeah, you can change the IP address of your RAID hard drive system. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. I said, are you sure this is going to be fine? Don't worry, it's going to be fine. Change the IP address to try to get Ethernet working so it would restore my hard drive way faster. And I changed the IP address and I couldn't see the hard drive anymore. So now I'm facing the possibility, the very real possibility of having lost all my data. I managed to get back into the RAID hard drive system, messing around with the IP address and stuff. And basically, the RAID system has to be on the same Wi-Fi as the Mac that you're restoring to. But I didn't know it also can just be connected to the same modem. And for some reason, like, I get to the last stage of the migration assistant, which is the Mac proprietary software for restoring backups. And it would fail when I entered the password. But I knew the password was right because I tested it in other ways. I couldn't work it out. And it turns out the reason it wasn't working was because my modem was going into a Wi-Fi router, then out of the Wi-Fi router on another Ethernet port into the fucking RAID system. So that just scrambled it and the password wouldn't work. I was using AI for 10 hours yesterday trying to work this goddamn shit out. Eventually it seems to be working. And now it's transferring. But all of this for no reason at all. They didn't fix the HDMI port and they wiped my hard drive. So that's what I've been dealing with, and it sucks. It massively sucks. So when the Trumpster is inaugurated, after that I'm gonna finish backing this up or restoring. I'm gonna go to the Apple store and I'm gonna take the cable and show them it doesn't work and get them to fix it, and then it will all be good. But that's what I've been going through, and it sucks.
PH Joy says, what else is a side piece then? PH Joy says, what else is a side piece then?
Egg and chips, mate.
D80 says ancient technology, the Apple tablet laptop. Mirror D80 says ancient technology, the Apple tablet laptop.
Ah.
Slub says FFS. Slub says FFS.
It's been so long.
Roman King says wow. Roman King says wow. Slub says lol. Slub says lol. PH Joy says Jajaja hate it when I can't fry an egg while I'm blow drying my hair. PH Joy says Jajaja hate it when I can't fry an egg while I'm blow drying my hair. Slub says I hate Apple stuff.
So do I.
Slub says I hate Apple stuff.
There's a few things that I want to look over. We've got like 2 or 3 hours, but I kind of want to get a bit of kip at some point. We have to watch Biden's farewell speech because, man, I watched that shit. And if Biden wasn't so irrelevant, that would have gone down as one of the darkest hours in American history. The president of the United States of America saying that wild, crazy, gaslighting, insane, globalist nonsense with a straight face. It was the worst farewell speech by a president in the history of America. And maybe the history of the world. It's that bad. So we're going to have to look at that to fact check him. But anyways, Ukfe him, because he's out the door, bro. He's gone. Thank God. The Orgulent Frey president who won with Ailme Ine Alabase.
He's a fucking zombie. Slum
Man,
he's a fucking zombie.
Dude, 4 more years of that. And we dodged the camel toes as well, mate. We dodged the camel toes. The camel toes were scratching at the door. Can you imagine? 4 years of and the thing is, like, Biden on the way out, he's scrambling to just do as much damage as possible, scrambling to try to keep illegal people who are aping Ray the populace in America, scrambling to like sell the wall on like cents on the dollar, scrambling to like codify DEI in as many departments as possible.
Says he tries to take credit for the ceasefire in Gaza West.
That as well, and like even Hamas came out and said that was basically the Trumpster, and Netanyahu said it was the Trumpster, and you can see a week before Trump saying if he gets when he becomes president, if they haven't released the hostages, there'll be hell to pay. All of that stuff, giving more money to Ukraine, giving more like student loan relief. Just the more money you pump into the system when you're not producing anything, the more inflation you get. Inflation's already terrible. Like every single thing they do at every single level is not just bad, it is horrible. 4 years of that, and it's all because of Ordfrey. Nobody voted for that mother Ukfe. Nobody voted. So we had to deal with 4 years of Ordfrey, of Orgulent Frey, Esident Prey. It's been insane. And on the way out, he's just trying to make it as bad as possible. And his presidency was littered with failure. Man, do you remember the Afghanistan thing? Billions of dollars of hardware. You've got a base like pretty much on China's doorstep. And how do you mess that up? Dude, they gave people jobs based on immutable characteristics all the way across the system in exchange for those people's loyalty and just doing whatever they're told to do. At all levels, assistant health secretary, the military, everywhere. Press secretary. Dude, they put a woman on the Supreme Court just because of her skin color, literally just because of that, and just because of her biological sex. Who, when asked what a woman was, she said you have to refer to a biologist, and she couldn't even answer the question. They put someone like that on the Supreme Court, and then at the death you've got.
Just watched a slough of crazies still holding hope out for Momola to take over. Should be interesting to see how they all get through the day. PH Joy says just watched a slough of crazies still holding hope out for Momola to take over. Should be interesting to see how they all get through the day. Slubs.
I have to censor you, Slubs, when you say that. It will hurt the channel. But I'll just talk over you. Oh, Lord. So look, if you want to fund some more champers, a third bottle, because you know I probably will, bruv, you could donate on the links in the top right, and I'll say thank you. So we should watch Biden's farewell speech. I don't really want to do this, but I feel we have to because it would just be so much sweeter when the Trumpster gets into power. Man, greatest comeback of all time. Now, here's a crazy thought, right? We needed Biden to become president urgently, Frey, because if he hadn't, we wouldn't know how destructive and dangerous the other side really are. And also, Trump wouldn't have been able to go as hard this time on like deporting people. People would have been less receptive to that if Biden hadn't had a second term and let in 10 million plus illegals. Do you see what I'm saying? So we needed an urgent Frey hesitancy pray for 4 years for things to get really, really bad and show you what will happen if you constantly have Democrats in power. So we needed it. And we've got the 3 perfect acts. We have the New Hope, the Trumpster in there. Then we had Empire Strikes Back, basically Trump frozen in carbonite. They tried to arrest him on multiple fronts. They tried to jail him. It's absolute BS. Try to arrest Trump. Then they tried to off him. They tried to uche Trump with an ulipe, an assassin. They tried to do that to him. They tried all this kind of stuff. They had the whole weight of the system against him. Censoring. They couldn't even post on X for years. He had to spend like billions to create his own social media platform. And after all of this, and after every single celebrity on the face of the earth, on the face of planet Earth, coming out and saying you should vote for Iden Bay, all of them, Eminem, even Harrison Ford, you know they have dirt on when they come out and do this. In spite of all of that, he still came back. Now you've got Return of the Jedi, Return of the Trumpster. It's the most beautiful, perfect story ever. And he just stuck to his guns the whole way. And do you remember that video when Biden urgently Frey won the presidency and Trump kind of accepted it? He said, okay, goodbye for now. We'll be back in some capacity. Bro, he believed in himself the whole time. He wrote a book called Never Give Up. He's a man of his word. And he's the best person for the job. He cares about America so much. He's a businessman. And all people want is to make money. And Trump knows that. He knows how to make money. He's made shitloads of money already. Himself, not in politics. And he's just going to apply his business acumen to America at large for the people. He's the perfect president. And he wants to succeed so badly. He's not in it for himself. He's in it for everyone else. He's in it for America. He doesn't have to do this. He didn't have to go through all of this. He could have. He's got billions of dollars. He could have retired on a beach somewhere. But he's doing it for the people. And he loves doing deals. That's his passion. So he sees America like a giant deal. And he just wants to make it as successful as possible. And isn't that amazing? Someone who's actually running the country how it's supposed to be run as a republic, to represent the public, represent our interests, and just try to make the country as good as possible. That seems like a crazy thing to say in this day and age, because every other first world country isn't doing that. They're in it for themselves. They're trying to censor us. They're trying to censor us and ban us under the thin veil of like misinformation and disinformation and all that kind of stuff. You hear these words and you see this kind of globalist strategy all throughout every single first world country, and it's apart from a handful, including Argentina and America. And it's just amazing that we've got a great president. He's back in the presidency, and he wants what's best for the country. He's going to try to do what's best for the country, as opposed to Biden. He's just doing what's best for himself, getting rich by selling out his country. This is amazing. And before you ask me why I'm so interested in American politics, America holds all the chips. Whatever they want to do, they can influence other countries to do that. UK, for example, UK is a socialist country now. It's in a death spiral. It has a socialist government, and they're just spending, and the economy's getting worse and worse and worse. Inflation's getting worse and worse and worse, and England doesn't produce anything anymore. And it's just absolutely plagued with oronophages and refugees who take up spaces in the socialist healthcare system, the NHS, and take up spots in schools and all this kind of stuff. And England is just absolutely bollocks. And because it's a socialist country, it doesn't actually produce anything. It just steals from the populace. It doesn't produce anything anymore. So England has no bargaining chip. America now can bully England and try to get them to change. And there's nothing England can do about it, because England has nothing to offer and has nothing to bargain with, because it doesn't produce anything. So America can change England for the better. Donald Trump, for example, didn't invite England's Prime Minister Keir Starmer to his inauguration. The ambassador for America in the UK, I think it's been turned down by Donald Trump. And Donald Trump will basically refuse to do business with and strangle the life economically out of England until a change is brought about. And if the government don't bring about the change, the people will, because they'll just be tired of it. Essentially, Donald Trump should put a tariff and a penalty, a financial penalty, on any country who are doing stupid socialist globalist stuff. He should also put tariffs on Japan for putting DEI departments in their video games and making a headquarters of PlayStation in California, and every single Japanese game going through the filter of California's DEI/wokeness. He should put tariffs on Japan until they remove all of those DEI departments. America can change the world and bully other countries into aligning with America's libertarian ideals. And I'm fucking here for it, bruv. I'm so here for it. Super here for it.
Slub says what word banned? Slub says what word banned?
Naughty words.
Why are they all identifying not just their gender and orientation but also their clothing and skin color? You all hear that fire chief do that?
Yeah, I did.
PH Joy says
insane.
Are they all identifying not just their gender.
When you're burning to death, that DEI stuff isn't really so much fun, is it?
Edward Johnston says, "Hey Massacre mates."
What's up?
Edward Johnston says,
Johnston.
"Hey Massacre mates."
Hey.
PH Joy says, "Slubs, BUGGER wasn't allowed either." PH Joy says, "Slubs, BUGGER wasn't allowed either."
Lot of mercy.
Slub says lol. Arthur Shaw says, "Sup bro." Arthur Shaw says, "Sup bro."
Arthur, I got your message on YouTube.
Hey Edward. PH Joy says, hey Edward. PH Joy says, "Maybe I can get away with saying boogers." PH Joy says,
Yeah, you can.
"I can get away with saying boogers."
Oh, mate.
Roman King says, "Yeah, that makes sense. The country needed to warm up the idea of mass deportations by seeing 4 years of unmitigated illegal migration
Yep.
reach their doorsteps."
Yes.
Roman King says, "Yeah, that makes sense. The country needed to warm up the idea of mass deportations by seeing 4 years of unmitigated illegal migration reach their doorsteps."
Palmer works in mysterious ways.
PH Joy says, "Or is it bugers?" Slub says, "Stopping all the day shit too." Slub says, "Stopping all the day shit too." PH Joy says, "He's proud in a good way." PH Joy says, "He's proud in a good way." PH Joy says, "We hold the fries." PH Joy says, "We hold the fries." Slub says, "Mandelson." Slub says, "Mandelson." Dawn says, "Thank you for supporting Americans during these dark days of Biden."
I never wavered
And got rid of that horrific regime.
for a second.
Dawn says, "Thank you for supporting Americans during
My
these
pleasure.
dark days of Biden. Thankful we all stood up and got rid of that horrific regime."
I never wavered for a second.
Joy says, "Amen Dawn." PH Joy says, "Amen Dawn." Slub says, "Starmer is very unpopular."
Up, Dawn.
Slub says, "Starmer is very unpopular."
Yeah, to say the least.
Matt Proctor says, "Amen brother." Matt Proctor says, "Amen brother." Mirror D80s says, "I bet those actors that turned Democrat had compromised video evidence lying somewhere. Thankfully none of that could stop Donald Trump and team." Mirror D80s says, "I bet those actors that turned Democrat had compromised video evidence lying somewhere. Thankfully none of that could stop Donald Trump and team." Kamura Shirau says, "Even ride to hell, retribution is more popular than Keir Starmer." Kamura Shirau says, "Even ride to hell, retribution is more popular than Keir Starmer." Mirror D80 says, Cammy Russian Ryo lol shows how shy Starmer is lol. I actually thought I was the only one that played that game. Mirror D80 says, Cammy Russian Ryo lol shows how shy Starmer is lol. I actually thought I was the only one that played that game.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow, this is great. So happy and excited. It's gonna be so good. Cannot wait. 24 concurrent viewers. Lot of mercy.
Catch you all later. PH Joy says it is 3 a.m. Catch you all later.
Catch you all later. See you later, PH.
Says laters. Slub says laters.
Laters. PH, make sure you're back for the inauguration.
Says laters PH. Edward Johnston says laters PH. Brad W says, England will need a lot of work cause you have to replace the entire police force. W says, England will need a lot of work cause you have to replace the entire police force.
Damn.
Independent Men United says, hey Johnny and all.
What's up?
Independent Men United says, hey Johnny and all.
What's up? So, should we watch President Trump's celebratory victory rally? I think we should watch Biden's.
PH Joy says will do. PH Joy says will do.
I think we should watch Biden's farewell speech first because it's so bad.
It says the JFK, RFK and MLKJ files ready to be released under Donald Trump.
Oh my god, that's true.
Melody says the JFK, RFK and MLKJ files ready to be released under Donald Trump.
Bro. Man, Biden admin, worst presidency of all time in America. But like, there's nothing even comes close. The damage that he did. Right, I know this is gonna be cancerous, but we're never gonna see these Uckafays again. Let's watch his farewell speech because it is exceptionally evil and poor and bad. Right, let's do this. Okay. Do this. Right, I don't have two screens. Everything's a bit rubbish, but it'll be alright. It'll be alright. Work through it. Right, let's.
King says, hell yeah, let's watch Biden's failure speech.
Okay,
King says,
yeah.
Hell yeah, let's watch Biden's failure speech.
Speech. Let's watch it because it's just completely insane. Can you let me know about the volume of everything? How it is? That would be good. All right, let's do it. This Mac is so terrible. Right. Come on, you old. Come on, girl. Like this.
By Israel and Hamas. The elements of which I laid out in great detail in May of this year.
Bro. How did this ever even happen? Right, let's watch Biden's farewell speech. Because it is insanely bad. It's just insanely bad. And we need to watch it. Right, here we go. Here we go, y'all. Biden's farewell speech, worst farewell speech in the history of the United States. And like I said earlier, if Biden wasn't so irrelevant and such an orgulent president, it would actually rank as one of the darkest days in American history for the sitting president to come out and say such outrageous anti-American nonsense. Let's check it out.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from the Oval Office. Before I begin...
Bro, this guy cannot even speak English. Wait, I have to wheel up.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from the Oval Office. Before I begin, let me speak to important news from earlier today.
Before I began, let me speak two important news from earlier today. The man cannot even speak English. This guy wasn't in power for 4 years. Who was? Why is this not the national story that someone else is running the country and not the person you voted for?
After 8 months of nonstop negotiation, by my administration, a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached.
You absolute scumbag. They tried to scupper Israel at every single step of the way. If Israel had listened to Biden, they wouldn't have made any progress at all in the war. They wouldn't have made any progress at all. Hamas would still be thriving. They kept trying to stop Israel from doing what they had to do to get the job done and to eliminate this endless terror threat on their doorstep. The Biden administration tried to make it 100 times worse for Israel. And it wasn't the Biden administration that negotiated this ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. It wasn't. Netanyahu came out and said that it was Trump who was the engineer of it. And even Hamas said that. Everyone knows Biden is weak on the world stage. Nobody listens to them. All Biden did was launder shitloads of money out there. Do you remember that pier that they set up that floated away? Probably 20% of the money that he sent over there went into that pier. The rest of it went to him and his friends. He definitely did not broker the peace deal in Gaza. 100% false.
Israel and Hamas, the elements of which I laid out in great detail in May of this year. This plan was developed and negotiated by my team and will be largely implemented by the incoming administration.
No, it was basically created by Trump and executed by Trump.
That's why I told my team to keep the incoming administration fully informed, because that's how it should be, working together as Americans.
His tone is just really horrible. This is the last time you're going to see him, and he just looks like an angry man suffering from dementia.
This will be my final address to you from the American people, from the Oval Office, from this desk as president. And I've been thinking a lot about who we are, and maybe more importantly, who we should be. Long ago in New York Harbor, an ironworker installed beam after beam, day after day.
Least charismatic president of all time. He was never the most popular. That is an absolute lie. You know it. I know it. We know it. Everybody knows it.
He was joined by steel workers, stonemasons, engineers. They built not just a single structure, but a beacon of freedom. The very idea of America was so big, we felt the entire world needed to see. The Statue of Liberty, a gift from France after our Civil War. Like the very idea of America, it was built not by one person, but by many people, from every background, and from around.
You see how he gets it in there? They're so pro-refugees. Like, it's built by many people of every background. You know he's trying to add parallels to all the illegals that came into America and trying to say, like, they're valuable and somehow. When you look at any data from any country who dares to release it, refugees are a drain on the economy, a drain on resources, a drain on education, a drain on healthcare. Obviously. So he tried to sneak that in there, trying to draw like moral equivalence between settlers who risked life and limb to build like the greatest system of all time and economic parasite pays who come to sponge off those people's hard work. This guy is a disgrace.
Around the world, like America, the Statue of Liberty is not standing still. Her foot literally steps forward atop a broken chain of human bondage. She's on the march. And she literally moves. She was built to sway back and forth to withstand the fury of stormy weather.
This is what a DEI ache-fay president looks and sounds like, dude. Look at this. I cannot believe this guy was president.
To stand the test of time because storms are always coming. She sways a few inches, but she never falls into the current below.
Like, what a fucking dark speech. Like, storms are always coming. Dude, when he ran for president, he did the same thing. He was talking about dark times. Now he's talking about storms. It's just horrible. Get this man out of the office.
An engineering marvel. The Statue of Liberty is also an enduring symbol of the soul of our nation. A soul shaped by forces that bring us together and by forces that pull us apart.
Again, he's a Marxist. He's talking about division and conflict. He loves it. What a negative speech to say farewell with.
And yet, through good times and tough times, we've withstood it all. A nation of pioneers and explorers. of dreamers and doers.
Fuck you. Seriously. He's, again, with that refugee shit. He's like the dreamers. That's what he's referring to, is the dreamers, the illegals who came here to suck up the resources. Who, like, their I'm crazy statistics are through the roof. And he's pandering to those absolute unks. It's such a disgrace. It's such a disgrace to mix the founders in with these people. It's a disgrace, man.
Of ancestors native to this land, of ancestors who came by force. The nation of immigrants came.
Bro, immigrants. Do not equate us to that. Settlers.
To build a better life. A nation.
You see how he tries to make parallels between you know he's doing that with refugees and the settlers. It's absolute fucking disgrace.
Holding the torch of the most powerful idea ever.
Disgusting.
That all of us are created equal. That all of us deserve to be treated with dignity, justice, and fairness.
Bro, he routinely called Trump a threat to democracy and his supporters a threat to democracy. Is that treating people with fairness? The only people he treats with fairness are people who vote for him and people who are on his side. These people are the worst.
That democracy must defend and be defined and be imposed, moved in every way possible.
What the hell is he even talking about? I don't know.
Our rights, our freedoms, our dreams.
Which he, every step of the way, tried to take away, especially free speech. His administration, with Soviet communist zeal, tried to micromanage every single comment on X and Facebook, as proved by the Twitter files, and even Zuckerberg, who donated hundreds of millions to him. It was so bad. He was so anti-American and so censorious that even Zuckerberg came out and admitted it. This guy is a disgrace, a gaslighting disgrace.
But we know the idea of America, our institution, our people, our values that uphold it are constantly being tested. Ongoing debates about power and the exercise of power. But whether we lead by the example of our power or the power of our example. Whether we show the courage.
This empty rhetoric. This speech is dreadful.
To stand up to the abuse of power, or we yield to it.
Dude, this guy has abused power so much. The Supreme Court said it's unconstitutional to alleviate student loans. He did it anyways. He tried to force vaccine mandates, tried to force an poisonous P chemical K into your body, and didn't want you to work or earn a living unless you did that. Disgrace.
After 50 years at the center of all of this.
Talking about power abuse. He wrote the book on power abuse.
I know that believing in the idea of America means respecting the institutions that govern a free society.
No, it's nothing to do with respecting the institutions. You're so fucking far away from the mark. You're so far away from the mark. What it's about, let me explain to you, Biden. It's about respecting the people. That is all it's about. Respecting the people and their individual liberty and their private property. That is all it's about. Respecting the institutions. No, you respect us, mother uckerfay. For real.
The presidency. The Congress.
Respecting go ucksay and ick day. You ucking fay old unkay.
The courts. A free and independent press.
A free and independent press. So you try to put fact checkers on anyone who actually exercised their right to free speech, who was trying to constitute a free and independent press. You are investigating Elon Musk. You're trying to find a crime to fit the punishment in order to kneecap him because he allowed us to have free speech. And you're talking about a free and independent press. This is so Orwellian. This is the textbook definition of Orwellian.
Institutions that are rooted, they just might not reflect the timeless words, but they echo the words of the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Rooted in the timeless words of the Constitution, we the people. Our system of separation of powers, checks and balances. It may not,
which you absolutely despise. You even come out and said you want to pack the Supreme Court. You want to end the filibuster. You're talking about checks and balances. You hate them. You hate them. These people are despicable liars.
be perfect, but it's maintained our democracy for nearly 250 years, longer than any other nation in history that's ever tried such a bold experiment. In the past 4 years, our democracy has held strong. And every day,
Don't think so, bro.
I kept my commitment to be president for all Americans.
Absolutely nonsense. President for all Americans. You demonize half of the country. You smeared tens of millions, hundreds of millions of Trump voters. 100 mil plus. Or Trump supporters. It must be minimum of 100 mil. All Americans, lies. Massive, massive lies. Do you remember when you didn't get vaccinated, Vay? And they said it's going to be a winter of disease and death for the unvaccinated, Vay? Do you remember that? Was that for all Americans? I don't think so, bruh. I don't think so. Disgusting liar.
Through one of the toughest periods in our nation's history. I've had a great partner in Vice President Kamala Harris.
The worst vice president and presidential candidate in the history of America.
It's been the honor of my life to see the resilience of essential workers getting us through a once-in-a-century pandemic.
You didn't want it to end, and that was the thing that allowed the Ordfray to get you into the presidency. This is the worst speech of all time. It's the worst. It's like actually probably the worst speech by a president in the history of America.
Heroism of service members and first responders keeping us safe.
You wanted to defund them all, you... Ah, God, it makes me angry.
The determination of advocates standing up for our rights and our freedoms instead of losing their jobs.
Does that include me when YouTube, yay, and bait me for correctly pointing out the fact that there was Otivate Ordfray?
To an economic crisis that we inherited millions of Americans.
Bro, this is the worst speech of all time. He tried to blame Ovid K on Umtray. He said, we inherited this. Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you actually serious? He shut down the entire economy and he blew out the spending bill. And they nearly got another spending bill through that would have made things even worse. And he's talking about inheriting this. Dude, these people haven't done a single good thing in 4 years. Not one. Everything they touched, anti-minus turned to Itche. This is the worst presidential speech of all time. And I'm not exaggerating. I told you this was bad. I told you this is super bad, right? Man, I need a little break because it's so hard to watch this. It's so hard to watch.
Nicholas McDade says he was bad by design. Nicholas McDade says he was bad by design. Arthur Shaw says TikTok is running just fine. Why everybody is saying that it's banned in USA? Arthur Shaw says TikTok is running just fine. Why everybody is saying that it's banned in USA? Dawn says what BS? Dawn says what BS?
Dude, this is coming to an end.
Puppet corpse. Slub says puppet corpse. Mactix says history will not be kind to him.
No.
He was not a failure on all levels.
Yes. Say it again.
History will not be kind to him. His term was an utter failure on all levels. Dawn says and today higher speech sounds like lol. Dawn says and today higher speech sounds like lol.
Yeah.
Slub says WTF is he on about? Slub says WTF is he on about?
Cuckenberg.
Nicholas McDade says do. Nicholas McDade says do. Roman King says cuckerburger lol lol. King says cuckerburger lol lol.
Okay, let's get back to the oh god, I actually really regret playing this, but let's do it. We have to do it because when this champagne is gonna be even sweeter, the cigar is gonna be even tastier, the Trump inauguration is gonna be even more exciting after having watched the current president give his last speech and remind us how goddamn awful he has been and how awesome Trump is going to be by comparison. This is necessary. This is necessary. It's like you have to stress the body to get stronger. We're going to have to stress our brains listening to Biden to enjoy and appreciate the Trumpster later. Okay.
Americans now have the dignity of work. Millions of entrepreneurs and companies creating new businesses and industries, hiring American workers, using American products. Together.
What the hell are you talking about? How the hell is that a hallmark of your presidency? How is that?
We've launched a new era of American possibilities.
This is literally not true. The economy is absolutely terrible. Everyone knows it. Just go out and check out the price of groceries. Flat out lie.
One of the greatest modernizations of infrastructure in our entire history.
Right, you talking about innovation? The most innovative American citizen of all time, arguably, Elon Musk. You're trying to arrest him. You're trying to arrest him. Talking about an era of prosperity and innovation. You try to extinguish that quite literally. This is this is the worst speech ever.
From new roads, bridges, clean water, affordable high-speed internet.
Bro, you fucking took $40 billion for your internet connection. $40 billion. You didn't connect a single person. What are you talking about, high-speed internet? Elon Musk, again, going back to him, he was there the whole time. He could have put on Starlink like that. Everyone would have had it. But because of your politics and because Elon Musk wouldn't bend the knee and make his administration a leftist hive full of Communist Party branches, as in DEI cells, you wouldn't support him at all. These people are disgusting. It's all about power. They're so destructive. Oh, man, it makes me angry. Worst speech of all time. Worst speech of all time.
For every American.
Apart from Trump voters.
We invented the semiconductor. Smaller than the tip of my little finger.
Bro, this is the worst speech ever. In every fucking, on every level. It's full of lies. The delivery's awful. No charisma. And it's very flowery and verbose and stupid. It's trying to sound more intelligent than it is. It is the worst speech ever given by a president.
And now it's bringing those chip factories and those jobs back to America where they belong.
Where are those jobs, bro? Economy's still in the doldrums, mate.
Creating thousands of jobs.
Man, this is one of his worst fucking like quirks as well. He was just go jobs, bringing jobs, thousands of jobs. Green energy is gonna generate jobs. Where are the jobs? People are desperate. People don't have any money. The idea of having a family and owning your own home is a pipe dream for the majority of Americans who live hand to mouth. And you're talking about jobs. Where the hell are these jobs? Where are they? They don't exist. Do you remember when they lied about jobs and then the statistics got revised? They were lying about it. Yeah, I remember that.
Finally, giving Medicare the power to negotiate lower prescription drug prices.
Awesome. You got a commie healthcare system. Well done.
For millions of seniors.
And millions of refugees who take up the space, right?
And finally, doing something to protect our children and our families by passing the most significant gun safety law in 30 years.
Bro, regulating guns more than they already are makes people far less free. He would not even be sitting there if it wasn't for freedom to bear arms. And he's taken that away because he's an authoritarian. He's anti-free speech. He's anti-liberty. And he's boasting about taking away your freedoms, one of the fundamental freedoms, the Second Amendment, just behind the first in order of importance. Outrageous. This speech is disgusting. Anti-American trash.
And bringing violent crime to a 50-year low.
That is an absolute lie. And do you remember when Trump came out and said those statistics were BS and they were revised, and later the FBI quietly updated the statistics and showed you that crime was terrible? And also bear in mind, there is so much crime now in America. Just go out and go and walk around San Francisco. I know what it's like. There's so much crime. So much of it doesn't even get reported because Biden's cronies reduced theft from a felony to a misdemeanor if the theft is under $950, meaning people can get away with stealing stuff. So if crime in any capacity looks like it's down, it's because people are not reporting it, because we all know people are more hard up than ever, people have less money than ever, and when that happens, you have more crime. It's abject lying from Biden. Abject lies.
Meeting our sacred obligation to over 1 million veterans so far who are exposed to toxic materials.
What has he actually done? Nothing. Everything he said, nothing is tangible there. He just made it all up. Literally done nothing. Taken America back.
And to their families, providing medical care and education benefits and more.
Yeah, benefits. You did a lot of that. You spent a lot without producing anything, causing inflation, dumbass.
For their families. You know,
man, clicking your this guy's disgusting.
It will take time to feel
you have 4 years, bro.
full impact of all.
Dude, it's the full impact has already been felt, and it's devastating to people's finances and happiness and well-being. You've crushed America.
We've done together. But the seeds are planted.
Bro, you took all the seeds out and you made the land barren and infertile. That's what you literally did. You ended all subsidies for oil and drilling. You ended all those contracts. A country's GDP per capita is directly analogous to how much fossil fuels and energy we consume. And you absolutely destroyed our energy industry, and then were buying the energy from people who are disgusting, like disgusting countries who don't share our values at inflated prices. What an absolute clown.
They'll grow and they'll bloom for decades to come.
They will not grow or bloom at all.
At home, we've created nearly 17 million new jobs, more than...
Oh, we created the jobs. This is a job. Have you ever seen the jobs? That's all he's saying. It's a load of nonsense.
...than any other single administration, single term.
Dude, what are you talking about? What? He's such a... It's all lies. It's all lies. What he's saying there is he created more jobs than in any other presidential term because everyone lost their job due to COVID-19. And he's saying he created those jobs, but he didn't. If I steal some money from you and then you're really poor for ages and then I give you less money back later, does that mean you've made money? No. Using the same logic, if somebody takes your job away from you, denies you your human rights and your right to work, takes your job away and then gives it back to you later, probably a worse job or lower pay, did you get a new job? No, you didn't. So Biden is lying through his teeth here.
More people have health care than ever before.
Especially a lot of immigrants. I speak to my friends in California and they say the hospitals are heaving and you cannot get seen.
And overseas, we've strengthened NATO.
California already have pumped billions of dollars worth in tax money into giving healthcare to illegals. This is insane and unsustainable.
Ukraine is still free.
Bro, you caused the Ukraine war. Your son was over there doing dodgy deals anyway on the Ukrainian energy board, Burisma. What was he doing over there? Making illegitimate money. And you continue to make illegitimate money by triggering the Ukraine war. NATO was never supposed to go to their doorstep, and your administration kept allowing it to happen. You pumped billions of dollars over there, billions of dollars, when Americans can't afford to eat or can't afford to keep their heating on. They're living hand to mouth, they're living paycheck to paycheck because you're sending the money overseas. For someone who always talks about the evils of America's past, Biden, and the evils of colonialism, America's doing a really bad job at being colonial. It's just giving money away to other countries. How many countries do that? Just give money away when they're in an already horrific financial situation, $33 trillion in debt and rising. And you're boasting about this against that backdrop, giving money constantly to Ukraine to launder it through the military-industrial complex and make the world a less safe place and put us on the brink of World War III. This is the worst speech of all time, straight up.
And we pulled ahead of our competition with China and so much more. I'm so proud of how much we've accomplished together for the American people. And I wish the incoming administration success because I want America to succeed.
Bro, you tried to arrest him. What are you talking about? Success? What are you talking about?
That's why I've held my duty to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition of power.
Bro, you are the reason why Trump nearly got his head blown off, because you kept on calling him a Nazi and a threat to democracy. Even after that happened, you went back to that within a month. Peaceful transfer of power.
To ensure we lead by the power of our example, I have no doubt that America is in a position to continue to succeed. That's why my farewell address tonight, I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern.
Bro, if you thought the speech was bad thus far, we're not even halfway, and you got to get ready because this is about to get mad grim.
Nicholas McDade says, double speak from Biden's.
Oh my lord.
Nicholas McDade says, double speak from Biden's speech. Succumentiem says, was my message deleted, lol.
Possibly.
Succumentiem says, was my message deleted, lol. Edward Johnston says, cigar time.
Cigar time inauguration. We're saving it.
Mirror D80 says, Psychommentium, not sure I didn't see any other messages, may have been the Google algorithm.
May have been.
D80 says, Psychommentium, not sure I didn't see any other messages, may have been the Google algorithm. Succumentiem says, I said Rumble is while lol. Succumentiem says, Rumble is while lol. Succumentiem says, anyway I gifted 5 subs over there, lol. Succumentiem says, anyway I gifted 5 subs over there, lol.
Thank you.
Succumentiem says, and his chat on screen is really slow so he don't know it yet. Succumentiem says, and his chat on screen is really slow so he don't know it yet.
Don't know. I see it.
D80 says, good work, yeah, he paused at ATM while analyzing this video, he will get on the comments soon.
Yeah, it's doing a bit of the old analysis.
D80 says, good work, yeah, he paused at ATM while analyzing this video, he will get on the comments soon. Kenneth83DK says, nothing like a good old-fashioned rant from Mad Lad Johnny while walking the dog. Kenneth83DK says, nothing like a good old-fashioned rant from Mad Lad Johnny while walking the dog. Succumentiem says, lol.
I can see the subs, mate. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you.
Succumentiem says, all cool. Succumentiem says, all cool.
I'm doing my best now to like destroy the stream. By like trying to load some chat boxes. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna pop out the chat. This is actually not very smart. It's actually really not. This is the thing. This is how I nearly lost all my data. I know I shouldn't do something, but I just do it anyways and see what happens. Never smart. Thank you for the subs. I don't know what that means, but I know that it's good. So thank you. All right, should we get, mate? Okay, let's get. We gotta go through hell to get to heaven. So let's go back to Biden's speech.
This is a dangerous and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people.
A dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a few wealthy people. A dangerous concentration of power. FBI, CIA, Department of Homeland Security, all of the legacy media, activist billionaires, George Soros, Open Society Foundation, endless NGOs, World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, all of that lot. Are you telling me that side that you're a part of is not a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a few people. And you are saying that Donald Trump, who's not a politician, who made his fortune himself and was voted in democratically, and everyone tried to kill him and take him out. The entire media tried to smear him. He still succeeded, which is the ultimate example of democracy. The people voted for that. Are you telling me he is the threat? Are you telling me Elon Musk is the threat? Are you telling me the immigrant that you speak so highly of, who came to America and became the world's richest man in the free market, who transparently communicates his political opinions and ambitions, as opposed to George Soros, who does it all behind the scenes, riddling the whole system with DEI hires from the justice system to the government itself? Are you telling me that Trump and Musk and those people have a dangerous concentration of power when they made it all on the free market? And your side did it all through politics and shady deals behind the scene. Are you telling me that? Are you actually arguing that? This is insane. This guy could be naked in the fucking Oval Office and giving a speech about his big warm jacket and his dungarees. It is nonsense. It is Orwellian. It is insane. It borders on psychosis, which, if you didn't know, the dictionary definition is an inability to distinguish between reality and fantasy. That's where we fucking are. And this is coming from the Oval Office in a farewell speech. This is insane. This is insane. This is fucking insane. This is not real. This cannot be real. Keep going.
The dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked.
What are you actually talking about? Abuse of power? You tried to arrest your political rival on multiple fronts, 4 different cases, and you tried to assassinate him. And you're calling him dangerous?
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America.
An oligarchy is taking shape in America. Your policy is the same as England's policy, is the same as Canada's policy, is the same as Germany's policy, is the same as France's policy. Mass, uncontrolled, unchecked migration, green energy, scam, laundering all money through that at the expense of the American people and their financial stability. You have the audacity to say that? Are you actually serious? Are you actually serious?
Extreme wealth, power, and influence.
That's you, bruh! That's you, bruh! And your friends, literally!
That literally threatens our entire democracy.
That is you, bruh! That is, thank you for your projection and telling us exactly who the hell you are. What he said there is exactly who they are. Exactly. Literally. I promise you that.
Our basic rights and freedoms.
That you stripped away. You hate free speech. You hate it. You tried to strip away the most fundamental.
And a fair shot for everyone to get ahead.
A fair shot for everyone to get ahead, apart from straight white males who your administration will not hire. This is absolute nonsense gaslighting.
We see the consequences all across America. And we've seen it before. More than a century ago. But the American people stood up to the robber barons back then.
Mate, the robber barons? You have a net worth of like 100 million plus, and your son was doing $1 billion deals while mashed on crack in China and Ukraine. Are you actually serious? Are you serious?
And busted the trusts.
And you're talking about, I guess, Musk and Trump and that lot being robber barons? Bro, you have made and produced categorically nothing in the last 50 years you've been on the government dole. And you're talking about robber barons? Are you actually fucking serious? And the guy who's coming in made his own money, and he's a robber baron? And your cronies went after him and said that he overvalued Mar-a-Lago in order to give him a $300 or $400 million fine that he paid in cash, by the way. And you're calling him a robber baron. Are you actually fucking serious? You cannot be serious. You can't be serious, Biden. See you later, bitch. See you later.
They didn't punish the wealthy. Just made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had to. Workers want rights to earn their fair share.
The fair share! Pay the fair share! We want everybody to burn and pay the fair share. And the jobs. Good paying jobs. You pay their fair share. Anyone who makes money is a baron, robber baron, and they need to pay their fair... Elon Musk, who you're talking about, paid more tax than any one person in the entire country. You gotta pay his fair share. Man, Biden, jobs and fair share. That's what Marxists say. Anyone who's successful, we need to steal their money and redistribute it to a bunch of scumbags who came in to leech off said person who are unproductive. But pay their fair share. Pay the fair share. Vote for me. And be angry and divided against the robber baron stealing your money. You're not poor because you were a loser. It's because they didn't pay their fair share. You need to get jobs. Good paying jobs. Pay the fair share. It's not the first time he's going to say that, I don't think.
You know, they were dealt into the deal, and it helped put us on a path to building the largest middle class, the most prosperous century any nation in the world has ever seen.
Under your administration, the middle class became meaningless. They basically they merged with the working class. We're all in it together, lads, down here. Unless you're fucking making a mint, like well over 100 grand. Middle class that you're talking about is gone, and your administration was the nail in the coffin of that. Straight up.
We've got to do that again.
Okay, let's do it, Biden.
The last 4 years, that is exactly what we've done.
Do you feel like the middle class is back and like you've got money in your pocket, you can afford shit? Do you feel that way? Is he telling the truth? I don't think he is, bro. Far from it. Mate, I need to take breaks from this fucking speech. It is the worst speech of all time. It is that bad. Okay.
Dawn says, as a warning of his intentions. Dawn says, as a warning of his intentions. Edward Johnston says he's gone now. Edward Johnston says he's gone now. Random Man says, G-Day Johnny DJ.
Yo.
Hangin'?
Hey.
Random Man says, G-Day Johnny DJ. How's your hammer hangin'?
Good, mate.
Random Man says, don't forget pardoning his son. Random.
We'll get to that.
Don't forget pardoning his son.
We'll get to that.
Victoria Rockwell says howdy Edward, howdy Merrick Sigh. Victoria Rockwell says howdy Edward, howdy Merrick Sigh. Victoria Rockwell says all projection. Victoria Rockwell says all projection. Victoria Rockwell says that's what evil does. Victoria Rockwell says that's what evil does. Mirror D80s says random and damn, and that laptop was memory hold so fast like the Energizer Bunny I will never.
But the free press is crumbling, right?
Family done. Mirror D80s says random and damn, and that laptop was memory hold so fast like the Energizer Bunny I will never forget the abuse of power the Biden family done. Slub says WTF is he on about robber baron?
That's right.
Slub says WTF is he on about robber baron?
Bro, he was in China robbing China.
Says he's trying to quote C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis is rolling in his grave right now.
So true.
Says he's trying to quote C.S. Lewis.
Nice insight from Victoria Rockwell, the menace.
Slub says he's a fucking multi-millionaire. WTF is he on about?
But this is, dude, the gaslighting is the worst ever.
WTF is he on about? Random Man says, probably got jealous of Mar-a-Lago after the FBI raided it. Random Man says, Probably got
Yeah, so talking about robber barons, he fucking pardoned every single crime his son did, and that's his crime because his son's not capable of functioning because he's a drug addict. And he's talking about robber barons. He pardoned his son like in broad daylight. Why is that not the major story? He's just pardoning himself.
Slub says he's doing my nut in.
Yeah.
Slub says he's doing.
Bro, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to get through that. We're gonna have to try to get through this. Let's go back. Here we go.
People should be able to make as much as they can, but play by the same rules. Pay their fair share.
Shut the fuck! Ah! God, the cliche. Stop it, dude. Stop it. Stop it. People need to be able to make as much as they want, but pay their fair share. What does this even fucking mean? Okay. Big business that he's talking about in America pays 100% of all net taxes. What are net taxes? And net taxes are taxes after benefits and all social care is removed from it. So the average person is probably a little bit even. Like they'll pay tax, but they'll take money out of the system through medical care and things like that. So essentially, they don't really contribute that much, the middle to the lower class, working classes. They don't really contribute that much in net taxes because they take out a lot of social benefits. Big business pays 100% of all net taxes. But you got to pay your fair share. I'm not saying there aren't any crooked bastard bays out there gaming the system and whatnot, but this whole pay your fair share, it's just Maoist, Marxist nonsense. It's rich people are bad. Anyone who's got money is a bad person. You got it through cheating, or you got it through fixing the system or gaming the system. So you need to just give me more money. If Biden really had another 4 years in order to try to enact what he's talking about, you're going to have a situation like England. So England right now, so many billionaires have left in the last year since Labour got into power. It's actually insane. They're just leaving the country. So when you steal people's hard-earned money and you tax them too much, they're just going to go somewhere else. But a Marxist doesn't understand that. And they're just trying to get voters and appeal to voters by validating their lack of productivity, validating their failure, and saying it's someone else's failure and blaming people who often have nothing to do with it. For example, like Elon Musk, who's done more for America than anyone else in America in the last decade. What makes a country succeed is technology. That's what keeps a country at the top of the pile. Musk is the best at creating things and bringing new technology. But he's bad. Pay your fair share. Biden is an insane person.
Taxes. So much is at stake. Right now, the existential threat of climate change.
I just can't. I can't anymore. The existential threat. Okay, so we've got like this dark times, this conglomerate of power in the hands of a few. We got people like stealing your money, and that's why you're failing, because they're taking all your money and they're not paying their fair share. Screw the most productive people in society. Don't reward them at all and try to arrest them. And now climate change, which, as I'm sure you know, is a massive steaming pile of BS. If you look at the history of temperature over the last thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of years, we are in a cooling period. Does man have an impact on climate? Possibly, and very, very small, but it's obviously so negligible. And even if this itchay were true, which it obviously isn't, we can't stop it anyways, because China is building more coal plants than anyone else, and China and India are not going to stop what they're doing, because, as I said, GDP per capita is analogous to how much energy people use per capita. But it ain't true. This whole climate change thing is a massive amscay. It is all fray. Just like everything else Biden is involved with, making as much money as possible at the expense of other people, at the expense of national security, at the expense of America, selling his influence for money. His son was literally in Ukraine on the energy board, Burisma, as I mentioned earlier. What was he doing out there? Making loads of money. And Biden sending millions of dollars out there when his son already laid the groundwork. Out there sending billions of dollars out there, making America less safe. Why would you think this whole climate change thing is any different? Taking billions of dollars worth of your cash and making inflation go through the roof and putting it into boondoggle projects that don't even go anywhere. This is what he's all about. This ridiculous speech, this foreboding dark nonsense.
Has never been clear. Just look across the country, from California to North Carolina.
There was a natural disaster. It must be because we've burned loads of fossil fuels. What are you actually talking about, you senile clown?
That's why I signed the most significant climate and clean energy law ever in the history of the world. And the rest of the world is trying to model it now.
No, they're literally not. They're moving away from it at light speed. See China and India. All he said there was, I have laundered your money into boondoggle projects. We're going to cut off most of that cream and take it for ourselves. A little bit of that will go into these projects that are not going to make a shred of difference to the climate anyways. And it's going to make you way, way, way poorer because energy is going to become way more expensive, and energy produces everything, including this flag, including this, including the computer or the smartphone you're watching me on. That's what he just said there. And he tried to spin that as an achievement. Worst speech of all time.
It's working.
It is not working.
Creating jobs and...
I can't do it. It's like, fuck, man. It is like listening to a senile, old, dementia-ridden, malevolent granddad, isn't it? And oh God, please.
Industries of the future. Now, we've proven we don't have to...
Industries of the future that you don't support. You try to arrest the people who manage the industries of the future. See Musk.
Between protecting the environment and growing the economy.
Just because you said there's this bad crisis, give us all your money, and now we've saved you, doesn't mean any of that is happening at all. You just made it up.
We're doing both. The powerful forces want to...
Yeah, man, you create all those jobs. That's why the economy is doing so badly.
Wield their unchecked influence to eliminate the steps we've taken.
Like you did, giving out those student loans even when it's illegal?
To tackle the climate crisis. To serve their own interest for power and profit.
That's exactly what you did with your son over in China and Ukraine. You are disgusting.
We must not be bullied into sacrificing the future of our children and our grandchildren. We must keep pushing forward and push faster. There's no time to waste.
What are you
It's also
talking
clear that
about?
American leadership in technology is an unparalleled source of innovation that can transform lives. We see the same dangers of the concentration of technology, power, and wealth. You know, his farewell address, President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex.
Right. You sent billions upon billions upon billions of dollars to Ukraine, and your son was working in Ukraine, and you've already sold out America, proved by the fact he's doing billion-dollar deals in China, and you have the audacity to start talking about the military-industrial complex? Are you ucking fey erious, say? Are you?
He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote.
That is literally what his whole administration represented, the disastrous rise of unchecked power. Mate, this is just, he's just telling you about himself.
6 decades later, I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech-industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well.
Dude, the tech industrial complex poses real dangers. Google does. YouTube does. Facebook did and maybe still does. And Twitter does. He's talking about the dangers of free speech. X just allows you to say what you want, and he is saying that is dangerous. These people cannot survive in the free market of ideas. People want freedom of speech. People want freedom. People don't want to be controlled. There are psyops you can do to try to make people think like that, but ultimately the majority of people don't want that. This administration cannot survive in the free marketplace of ideas. That's why they try to stymie and shut down X, and they're trying to go after Elon Musk now and investigate him. Because if you have true freedom of speech, and if you can distribute that information freely, these people cannot survive. The only way they can survive is to censor things and block things and throw you in jail for speaking your mind. That's the only way they can survive. They hate free speech. They absolutely despise it. And it's proved there where he's talking about this like technocracy and that this kind of like power abuse of like technology. He's talking about Elon Musk and free speech.
Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation.
What are you actually talking about? People can speak freely on X, and you're calling that an avalanche of misinformation. There's community notes, which is created by people and upvoted and downvoted by like thousands, if not tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people. What are you talking about? Disinformation. There is nothing more anti-disinformation than freedom of speech. And he's calling exactly that disinformation. This is like this literally is, or this is the dictionary definition of Orwellian. He's like saying freedom is slavery. That's what he's saying. He's saying free speech is disinformation. It's insane. This is the worst speech of all time. It really is. These people can only survive with censorship.
Enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling.
The free press is crumbling. The freest press right now is X because the people are the press. That's what America is supposed to be. It's the people. And Biden, he's supposed to represent the people and their interests. The people are the same, but for journalism. It's like the voice of the people represent the people. And he's saying that he's saying the free press is crumbling. So what does that even mean? That can only mean that the legacy media is not that popular anymore because we now have freedom of speech with X. How can you call the legacy media the free press? They are sponsored by Big Pharma and they have vested interests and they say whatever their sponsors want them to say. And because it's not popular anymore, people gravitate naturally towards the best, most innovative stuff. You are saying that free speech, the free press is crumbling. I mean, this is what it's like trying to understand someone with dementia whose brain isn't functioning properly, and you're using your functioning brain to analyze what they're saying. It's going to drive you insane. It's actually nonsense what he's talking about. And it's infuriating. And it's gaslighting.
Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking.
Bro, like I said, these people cannot survive without lies and censorship. Fact-checking, what even is that? So fact-checking is a name, it's some kind of group or body, organization who say this is true or this is not, that you didn't vote for, with zero transparency, and you can't see who any of those people are, and they're beholden to their advertisers and sponsors and investors and lobbyists. As opposed to X, that has community notes, which is basically just created by millions of people just voting for the truth. And he's talking about, he's bemoaning a lack of fact checkers. This could be a fucking speech in like Hong Kong, just as it was like turning over to Chinese rule, and like this is Chinese state media giving a broadcast. It was like would be indiscernible. This is the worst speech of all time, bruh. Straight up. Need to take regular breaks from this because it's just so hard to listen to.
Mirror D80 says just Google the term "I am a bit slow in the learning terms department to Victoria, slubs, and all here." Mirror D80 says just Google the term "I am a bit slow in the learning terms department to Victoria, slubs, and all here." Mirror D80 says I'm not sure if I will be up for your next stream. It will be 4:30 AM here, but will definitely watch the catch up. Mirror D80s.
Right.
I'm not sure if I will be up for your next stream. It will be 4:30 a.m. here.
You're in Australia, right?
Watch the catch up. Victoria Rockwell says, yeah, these PPL are so hard to watch, just infuriating. It's hard for me to get through 2 seconds myself without going on a rant myself.
Oh, God.
Victoria Rockwell says, yeah, these PPL are so hard.
Dude.
Just infuriating. It's hard for me to get through 2 seconds myself without going on a rant myself.
Mate, who would support that?
Of course, pay their fair share. Hires 87,000 IRS agents to go after people forced to work side hustles because of his horrific economy.
There you go, Dawn.
Dawn says, of course, pay their fair share.
Yeah.
Hires 87,000 IRS agents to go after people forced to work side hustles because of his horrific economy.
Dawn smashed it with that comment.
I'm losing the will to live. Listen to this cunt. Slub says, I'm losing the will to live. Listen to this cunt.
You and me both.
Victoria Rockwell says, word slubs word. Victoria Rockwell says, word slubs word.
Yeah.
Victoria Rockwell says, Dawn. Victoria Rockwell says, Dawn. Brad W says, the world is greener than it ever was. Plants eat carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
Brad W says, the world is greener than it ever was. Plants eat carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
Victoria Rockwell says, as a North Carolinian, he can keep our state out his motherfucking mouth.
Motherfucking.
Victoria Rockwell says, as a North Carolinian, he can keep our state out his motherfucking mouth. Mirror D80s says, I hate smoke and mirror sentences. Biden relied on gaslighting the nation. Glad he's finally gone.
Yeah, man.
Mirror D80s says, I hate smoke and mirror sentences. Biden relied on gaslighting the nation. Glad he's finally gone.
Thank God.
Slub says, who the fuck wrote this complete mumbo jumbo? Slub says, who the fuck wrote this complete mumbo jumbo?
Right?
Brad W says, this timeline is great. Even the truth about nicotine and cigarettes is coming out.
Is it? What's happening there?
W says, this timeline is great. Even the truth about nicotine and cigarettes is coming out. Kamira Shirai says,
Power of the cross.
getting banned, yet vapes are never questioned despite them actually having 2 times more nicotine.
Oh my God.
They're sold in Turkish corner shops in the UK.
That's so true. In London, I saw so much of that. It's such a plague, man. These like vape shops with this. It's not even hospital lighting. It's this kind of LED, insanely bright. They obviously think that's going to make them business.
What's in the news with cigarettes? I'm curious. Mirror D80 says, Brad W. What's in the news?
Oh, what?
Cigarettes? I'm curious. Mirror D80 says, Kamira Shirai vapes are getting banned by our idiotic government here in South Australia. Mirror D80 says, Kamira Shirai vapes are getting banned by our idiotic government here in South.
Man, I'm not surprised Australia is banning something new.
Weekend break. He said the streets were full of folks out their faces on fentanyl.
Oh my God.
Says my brother went to Nile weekend break. He said the streets were full of folks out their faces on fentanyl.
Sad.
Victoria Rockwell says there's some talk about how tobacco kills the spike proteins. Mirror, I'm sure you can find it if you look it.
Oh, what?
Victoria Rockwell says there's some talk about how tobacco kills.
Oh man, this is too like under the table convo going on here.
Brad W says anti-parasitic. Brad
Really?
says anti-parasitic.
Okay.
Mirror D80s says damn fentanyl sounds like it's spreading. Hopefully can stop the importing soon. Mirror D80s says damn fentanyl sounds like it's spreading. Hopefully can stop the importing soon. Mirror D80s says, Victoria Rockwell thanks. Mirror D80s says, Victoria Rockwell thanks.
Oh.
Brad W says, a lot of benefit with legit studies. The government doesn't care about your health, especially when there are billions to be made.
Yeah.
Brad W says, a lot of benefit with legit studies. The government doesn't care about your health, especially when there are billions to be made. Victoria Rockwell says, exactly Brad, it's so despicable. Victoria Rockwell says, exactly Brad, it's so despicable. Chris Campbell says the power of the cross compels you.
Compels you.
Chris Campbell says the power of the cross compels you.
The power of Christ compels you. The mystery of the cross commands you. Commands you. Okay, Biden. Here we go. Back to Biden.
The truth is smothered by lies, told for power and for profit.
Bro.
We must hold the social platforms accountable.
Your administration, 51 of those those other mate Uckerface signed an open letter saying your son's laptop was fake because it's obviously massively incriminating. Bro, what are you saying?
Protect our children, our families.
Protect our children. Look at the state of his son. Absolute mess.
Very democracy from the abuse of power.
Bro, abuse of power. Oh my God. Your administration tried to abuse power more than any American administration before you.
Meanwhile,
Uh-oh.
artificial intelligence is the most consequential technology of our time.
Bro, you can't even use those phones with the dial reel, let alone a smartphone, let alone AI. How would you know about this?
Perhaps of all time. Nothing offers more profound possibilities.
And wait, let me guess, he's going to say like terror or danger as well.
And risk.
Bro, this is the most negative speech of all time.
For our economy and our security, our society, for humanity.
Uh-huh.
Artificial intelligence even has the potential to help us answer my call to end cancer as we know it.
Do you remember that? Like, would you remember that when he was saying we're going to end cancer? Like, how did that go? How did that go?
But unless safeguards are in place, AI could spawn new threats to our rights, our way of life, to our privacy.
Right. What this means is his government wants to control it all. They're going to allow only a few companies to develop it, as long as they riddle it with leftist propaganda and use it as a tool to help the left consolidate power. You heard that dude on Rogan talk about that, right? That's literally what's happening, according to that guy. And you know, when Biden's talking about protecting and regulating, he just wants to use it for himself, the same way his administration used Twitter and the same way his administration used Facebook to their own ends. Mate, worst speech of all time.
How we work and how we protect our nation. We must make sure AI is safe and trustworthy and good for all humankind.
BS, for you.
In the age of AI, it's more important than ever that the people must govern.
Right, this is like stuttering old fool. Get him out of here.
And as the land of liberty, America, not China, must lead the world in the development of AI.
Bro, Elon Musk is probably going to be the major player with AI, and you're trying to arrest him, and you're saying you need America to be the leader in AI. You don't mean anything you say. All you care about is power, and you have to control everyone, and if they can't be controlled, you're going to go after them. And like, part of me believes the corporations really helped get rid of Biden. Because they weren't coming out with a lot of anti-Trump propaganda towards the final days of Biden and camel toes. You could really feel the deafening silence from corporate America that they've had enough. And it's for this reason you can see he's going to go after you and try to destroy you if you don't do what he says. Worst speech of all time.
You know, in the years ahead, it'll help to be, it's going to be up to the president.
Bro, get out of the Oval Office. You are not fit for office.
The presidency, the Congress, the courts,
the presidency. Where is that? Where is the presidency?
And the American people to confront these powerful forces.
Bro, you've been going on about powerful forces and like for the last 50. This is your farewell speech. You've got nothing to show for your presidency. You've got not one positive thing. So just dwell on all this negative nonsense. You're basically giving the darkest speech ever, and it's extra dark because you're actually talking about real things and you're talking about yourself.
We must reform the tax code. Not by giving the biggest tax cuts to billionaires, but by making
Don't say fucking fair share, I'm going to scream.
them begin to pay their fair share.
Fuck you, Biden!
Get dark money. That's that hidden funding behind too many campaigns contributions.
So apparently, like, Musk tweeted this thing out that George Soros is the biggest purveyor of dark money known to mankind. And he's talking about stopping dark money. Elon Musk is transparent about everything, which proves he's a good guy. And he wants democracy, he wants freedom of choice, and he wants liberty for all. Everything he's done has been out in the open. Soros, on the other hand, operates behind the scenes like a little weasel. And you don't know where his influence is coming from. And it's if you go onto the Open Society Foundation website, you can see all the hundreds of NGOs that are destroying America with refugees and like LGB whatever propaganda, all that kind of stuff. They've supported all that BLM stuff and Antifa and like the brain rot watermelon Palestine pay crew, funding those through NGOs. That's what George Soros is doing behind the scenes with dark money, and he funded your campaign. And you're talking about dark money, man. You're just talking about yourself, bruh. Worst speech of all time.
We need to get it out of our politics.
Bro, you made your fortune from politics. It's easy to say that now when you've made your fortune.
We need to enact an 18-year time limit, time and term, for the strongest ethics and the strongest ethics reforms for our Supreme Court.
Yeah, but oh my fucking God, dude. He just wants to destroy, like he's talking about democracy and like America 250 years, and he wants to just tear it all up so his side can always remain in power. Look at his face, bruv.
We need to ban members of Congress from trading stock while they're in the Congress.
Dude, it's your side who does the majority of that. Nancy Pelosi's the figurehead for that. This is, man, this is the worst speech of all time.
We need to amend the Constitution to make clear that no president is immune from crimes that he or she commits while in office.
Bro, your side illegally spied on Donald Trump and made up the pretext to do that with the Steele dossier. It is the biggest form of high treason. And you know what the penalty for that is? That's what the penalty is for that. That's what your side did. You made like hundreds of millions of dollars pissing around in China with your son. And you mishandled classified documents when you weren't even VP or president. And you want to be able to throw people in jail? Of course you want that. Because if you can't unfairly throw people in jail for trying to pin crimes on them they didn't commit, then you can't remain in power, which is what's happening now. Now, these people are the worst. I can't believe he's saying this with a straight face.
The president's power is not limited.
Bro, if you actually enacted these powers and you were held to account, you would be in jail for life.
It's not absolute. And it shouldn't be. And in a democracy, there's another danger.
That's exactly what they want, though, isn't it?
The concentration of power and wealth.
Mate, this is the most fucked up speech ever. This is your farewell speech. This is how you're going to be remembered. Mate, you're actually a joke, bro. No one's actually taking you seriously. You're actually just hallucinating right now.
It erodes a sense of unity and common purpose.
Which is what you did by like riddling everything with DEI and giving people jobs based on race and then demonizing people based on immutable characteristics. That's exactly what you did.
Distrust and division.
That's exactly what your party is literally all about. Like, honestly, this whole speech is about creating division. It's like ominous things and dark times and like too much power and small concentrated and like these technocrats that are doing this kind of stuff and dark money and this, that, and a third and like illegal people and like keep and divisive. But this is going to make, if a speech is going to make someone hate someone else who's impressionable, it is this speech. It is this speech. And you're talking about other people being divisive. Like you are your whole philosophy is about pay your fair share. These people stole your money. You are the most divisive person ever. Ever, 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 ever.
Participating in our democracy becomes exhausting and even disillusioning.
That's how it feels after your administration, bro. It feels like no matter what I do, my vote isn't going to count. That's what your administration is.
People don't feel like they have a fair shot.
Under your administration, no, because with you, it's about being on the Marxist victimhood hierarchy. If you're not on that, you're not going to get a fair shot. Look at Disney. It's like their hiring targets is 50% people who are not Itway. How is that a fair shot? Bro, this is your whole administration.
We have to stay engaged in the process.
Like, think of all the people who were qualified for VP and they gave it to Kamala because in his words, not mine, she's Akblay and an Umanway. How is that a fair shot? And you're talking about giving people a fair shot? What are you talking about?
I I know it's frustrating.
It's very.
A fair shot is what makes America America.
So why aren't you giving that to anybody?
Everyone's entitled to a fair shot.
The biggest fair, but unless you're Donald Trump, then you're going to arrest him. Dude, you are scum. You are scum.
I guarantee just a fair shot, an even playing field.
An even playing field when you won't give people jobs because of their skin color. What are you actually talking about? What are you talking about?
Going as far as your hard work and talent can take you.
Bro, you gave Ketanji Brown a place in the Supreme Court because of those reasons. It literally was nothing to do with talent. And now you're talking about how we need to have a system where it rewards talent. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I love the way really you do the complete opposite. And if you did the things you said you did, your party might still be in power. You wouldn't have given a position to Tim Walsh. You would have given a position to someone who was fit for the job of VP, and you wouldn't have given Harris a shot. This is hilarious, bro. You should take your own advice, Biden.
We can never lose that essential truth. Remain who we are.
Shut it.
I've always believed, and I've told other
You tongue-clicking oxsucker, K.
world leaders, America can be defined by one word.
Jobs.
Possibilities.
Okay, that doesn't really fill me with good vibes, but like, do go on. Do go on. Hit me with this, Biden.
Only in America do we believe anything is possible.
But you told me that unless you're Eitway and an Ailmay, then you can't make it. So what? You just make stuff up. If you make stuff up all the time, it's going to be a rambling, incoherent mess. And you're going to contradict yourself. I mean, man, we're getting the Trumpster who speaks from the heart and is no BS. I cannot wait for this. Oh my God, it's going to be even sweeter.
Like a kid with a stutter from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Kid with a stutter. So you want to be a bit of a victim now because you have to be because you're a Marxist? Bro, give me a break.
Claremont, Delaware, sitting behind this desk in the Oval Office.
Bro, you were given everything on a silver platter. You've been in politics for 50 years, produced nothing, and you got rich. What are you talking about? Rags to riches, mine. Ash.
As President of the United States.
Bro, you didn't win it either. You won by ordfray.
That's the magic of America. It's all around us. Upstairs in the residence of the White House, I've walked by a painting of the Statue of Liberty I don't know how many times. In the painting, there's several workers climbing on the outstretched arm.
Look how clever the speech is. He talked about the Statue of Liberty in the beginning, and now he's talking about it at the end. It's a good speech.
Of the statue that holds the torch.
So, like, his first point, if you're going to bookend it, is the Statue of Liberty was swaying, right? And it's always moving forward, and then there's opposing forces, but it never gives up. Okay, so are you going to bookend this properly? Because just mentioning it twice does not a good speech make.
It reminds me every day I pass it of the story and soul of our nation and the power of the American people. There's a story of a veteran. This is a veteran, the son of an immigrant.
Right, like trying to give credit to refugees and stuff, economic migrants for building this country. That's actually the worst. It's definitely one of the worst things in this whole speech. Get the hell out of here, Biden!
Whose job was to climb that torch and polish the amber panes so rays of light could reach out as far as...
Dude, who the fuck built that shit? That's really what counts, mate.
He was known as the keeper of the flame.
Of the flame.
He once said of the Statue of Liberty, quote, speaks a silent universal language, one of hope. Anyone who seeks...
Bro, your speech has been anything but hope. It was dark times from top to bottom. And then you said possibility. And then now you're saying hope. It's too late, bro. You've already ruined the speech.
Speaks freedom, can understand. Yes, we sway back and forth to withstand the fury of the storm.
Okay, so look, he's got the swaying, right? He's got the swaying. He's nice continuity.
To stand the test of time. A constant struggle.
Constant struggle. Man, imagine leaving office and you leave people with that constant struggle. I mean, life can be a struggle, but I mean, mate, this is the worst speech of all time.
Constant struggle.
Mate, you know Trump's speech should be full of truths, and he's just going to leave you with a sick economy, and he'll be able to be honest about that. I can't wait for his farewell speech. It's going to be a banger.
A short distance between peril and possibility.
Mate, peril, dark times, storms. Mate, just go away.
What I believe is the America of our dreams is always closer than we think. It's up to us to make our dreams come true. Let me close by stating my gratitude to so many people. To the members of my administration,
Clicker. Hate it.
as well as public service and first responders across the country and around the world. Thank you for stepping up to serve. To our service members,
Tried to fire them because they wouldn't put poison pay into their body. You are an cockroach, Kay.
and your families. It's been the highest honor of my life to lead you as Commander-in-Chief. And of course,
Wait, what did he just say?
and your families.
What did he say?
Thank you for stepping up to serve. To our service members and your families, it's been the highest honor of my life to lead you as Commander-in-Chief.
This actually could be the worst thing he said in the whole. There's so many. Okay. He botched the Afghanistan withdrawal. 13 or 14 servicemen died. Their families devastated when they did not need to. Then when he went to their funeral, he was looking at his watch and he was falling asleep. Then he oversaw the Russia-Ukraine war. 1 million people have died. And he's saying it's my greatest honor to serve you. All the while he was laundering money through his favorite aforementioned military-industrial complex. Bro, they will write. There will be dissertations written on this, taking it apart for years to come, as an example of the worst political speech ever made in America's history, and certainly the worst farewell speech of all time. It is that bad. It is that terrible. And this isn't a metaphor for his whole presidency. That was the way they ran the country. It was just epic fail after epic fail, with a heavy dose of nonsense and a sprinkling of insanity and gaslighting.
And of course, to Kamala and our incredible partner, the historic Vice President.
Dude, socialism, historic. I gave her a job because of the way she looked. Well done, you plonker. Look where that got you. The Trumpster took her place.
She and Doug have become like family. And to me,
Bro, you hate each other. Just so many lies. You hate each other. We know you do. We read the articles on this.
family's everything. My deepest appreciation to our amazing First Lady who's with me in the Oval today. For our entire family.
Of crooks, basically. You all laundered money. You're just criminals. And you lost! You couldn't do it! Get the fuck out of here!
The love of my life and the lives of my love.
Mate, what was it? Like, he did the second time he did that. He tried to flip the words around like it's clever. Jesus Christ.
My eternal thanks to you, the American people.
Bro, you hate them.
After 50 years of public
Like, he literally hates you.
service,
50 years, mate, you're just admitting you're a criminal.
I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. Nation where the strengths of our institutions
You can barely speak, bruh.
and the character of our people matter and must endure. Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America. You love it too. God bless you all. And may God protect our troops. Thank you for this great honor.
Do not let the door hit you on your ass on the way out, bruh. I love America. You love it. Don't speak for me. You do not. You hate this country. If you loved America, you wouldn't have said one of those things that you said in that worst speech of all time. Oh my freaking God. I told you it was bad, right? I told you it was just... I actually... God, if I had... I know it was... I knew it was horrific, but actually sitting through that again and picking it apart... Oh, mate. That's taken the years off my life. Oh my God. What the hell, dude? What the hell did... 4 years of that we had to endure? Now it's time for the Trumpster to take the wheel. Let's go. Oh my God. So what did you lot think of that? Biden's farewell speech. Worst of all time, right?
Mirror D80s says the robot sounds like a crack-addicted chain-smoking David Attenborough. Mirror D80s says the robot sounds like a crack-addicted chain-smoking David Attenborough. Victoria Rockwell says mirror accurate. Victoria Rockwell says mirror accurate. Dawn says, here's the cancer. Dawn says, here's the cancer.
He is.
Mirror D80s says I got Soul Revere HD collection takes me back to the good old times. Mirror D80s says I got Soul Revere HD collection takes me back to the good old times. Victoria Rockwell says he's still using carrier pigeons and tin cans. Imagine that retarded fuck using a smartphone. To see that. Victoria Rockwell says he's still using
Victoria's brutal.
Imagine that retarded fuck using a smartphone. I would love to see that. Dawn says, Victoria Rockwell, lol so true. Dawn says, Victoria Rockwell, lol so true.
Also true.
Chris Campbell says Biden always sounds like he's whining. Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Chris Campbell says Biden always sounds like he's whining. Drives me nuts. Dawn says, Biden gave Soros a medal. Dawn says,
Yes.
Biden gave Soros a medal.
Yes.
Slub says Pelosi insider trading etc fucking hypocrite. Slub says Pelosi insider trading etc fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Blazingatrium says is that even Biden?
Yeah.
Blazingatrium says is that even Biden?
It doesn't even look like him, right?
Victoria Rockwell says Soros is so gross evil little wrinkly naked turtle. Victoria Rockwell says Soros is so gross evil little wrinkly naked.
Exactly.
Chris Campbell says imagine being in power for 4 years and your farewell speech is all about how everything sucks now.
Exactly.
Chris Campbell says imagine being in power for 4 years and your farewell speech is all about how everything sucks now.
That's also the comment of the night.
Says, if we brought George Washington from the past, how far did you think he would make it into DC before he started dropping bodies? Brad Allen says, if we brought George Washington from the past, how far did you think he would make it into DC before he
Okay, that's another top comment. So top.
The 80s says is it an agent wearing one of them newfangled hit-etch masks? I saw a short video about it. They look ultra realistic. Maybe the real Biden has been whacked and swimming with the fishes.
Maybe.
Mirror D80s says is it an agent wearing one of them newfangled hit-etch masks? I saw a short video about it. They look ultra realistic. Maybe the real Biden has been whacked and swimming with the fishes. Odin Aesthetic says you're the best Johnny from the US.
Yeah, you're the best,
Odin
mate.
Aesthetic says you're the best Johnny from the US.
You're the best. Thank you, that means a lot.
Remember when he ran out of patience with more than half the country?
Mate, but like equality
It
and...
says remember when he ran out of patience with more than half the country?
Yeah.
Victoria Rockwell says, I
Yeah.
think those medals are now markers so we can spot evil quicker. The PPL given them are so egregious. I mean Clinton really.
Yeah.
Victoria Rockwell says, I
True.
think those medals are now markers.
It's like Sadiq Khan got knighted. He destroyed London.
I mean Clinton really. Dawn says, Victoria yes. Dawn says, Victoria yes.
Yes.
Dawn says, same with the preemptive pardons. You don't need to pardon innocent people. Dawn says, same with the preemptive pardons. You don't need to pardon
He
innocent.
pardoned like Edophile pays and...
Victoria Rockwell says Brad, I would love that especially after he's had a course working with automatic weapons. Washington Scarface. Victoria Rockwell says Brad, I would love that. especially after he's
George Washington's course with automatic weapons. This would make a great film,
Scarface.
wouldn't it?
Victoria Rockwell says Dawn.
There's Dawn.
Victoria Rockwell says Dawn. Blazingatrium says he talks to us like we're children.
He does.
Blazingatrium says he talks to us like we're...
He is like a child now.
Chris Campbell says Johnny I'm getting the feeling this is not good for your stress.
It's not, man.
Chris Campbell says Johnny I'm getting the feeling this is not good for your stress level.
That champers on ice.
Victoria Rockwell says the whole mainstream media talks to us like that. I can't even watch regular TV without wanting to scream anymore. Victoria Rockwell says the whole mainstream media talks to us like that. I can't even watch regular TV without wanting to scream anymore. Blazingatrium says she was a symbol of the French Revolt, the supreme being a woman.
Woman.
Blazingatrium says she
It's like being with a woman and gamming.
Blazingatrium says he purged the military.
Yeah.
Gatrim says he purged the military.
Who'd want to work for the military now?
Shit in Afghan was a fucking disgrace.
Yeah.
Left all us allies to fend for themselves.
Oh man.
Sub says that shit in Afghan was a fucking disgrace. Left all us allies to fend for themselves.
I'm still bitter about that.
Victoria Rockwell says everything out of that crusty fucker's mouth is verbal vomit.
It really is. It sounds harsh, but it's like you have to sympathize with what she's saying.
Dawn says, excellent commentary and brilliant comments here in the live chat.
Yeah, we kill it. We kill it.
Says, excellent commentary and brilliant comments here in the live chat.
Kill it.
Mirror D80s says thanks to you all, great chat.
Yay.
Mirror D80s says thanks to you all, great chat. Brad W says, you look exhausted after listening to that. Brad W says, you look exhausted after listening to that.
Take the wind at me. Cielos, man.
D80s says he got wrinkles listening to Biden, lol.
So did I, bro.
Mirror D80s says he got wrinkles listening to Biden, lol.
Bruh. Oh man, that was so hard to watch. You know how tasty it's gonna be when the truck. Yeah, okay, we've got other shit to watch, but maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do that later on the next stream, because like Trump's celebratory victory rally, he made a speech. Apparently, he killed it. Did you see they had some party yesterday? One of various parties in the build-up to his in Trump's inauguration, where it was crypto centered, and like fucking Snoop Dogg was DJing and rapping there, and Snoop Dogg shot like a dummy of Trump in the head, and said anyone who votes for him is like, yeah, you know, you're whatever. And now he's come out and just said, no, dude, what the actual hell? Like, how much did they pay him? It's mad how all these there's gonna be so many fair weather people now. But it's good to see the culture is changing. Even big companies come out and support him.
None of our ears got leprosy and fell off. Rockwell says, I'm surprised none of our ears got leprosy and fell off.
It's mad how this, like, Nelly performed, Snoop performed. Did you see that the Trump meme coin, apparently the amount of value that added, the amount that raised, that increased in value was unheard of for a meme coin. And I don't think there's ever been a coin that became that valuable that quickly. That was insane. Someone bought $1 million worth of it and made like 300 mil.
Of my brain cells. Slub says I lost 50% of my brain cells.
Melania did a meme coin as well, but Trump killed it with a meme coin. And like Trump's going to be pro crypto. I think it's going above 100K. Dude, Trump is my prediction. I don't know anything about crypto, but I know he's going to go hard with crypto and he's going to deregulate, because he wants to have the most banging legacy ever. And if you deregulate crypto, it's going to be batshit crazy. Let's go, Trump. Let's go. Mate, imagine Trump abolishes like income tax. That would be insane. Can you imagine? Oh my God. All I can say is we're going to be all right, because we've got America, we got the Trumpster, and we've got the mystery of the cross. Yes. Started reading the Bible. It's fucking interesting, man. Like, it really stayed with me. Genesis is pretty memorable. Cool stuff in there. Okay, that was good. We're testing the stream. It seems to be working. That's great. So we need to find out where to watch the Trump's inauguration, though. Like, I just don't even know where we're going to be watching that. I'm sure it's going to be all over the place. Does anyone know where we can watch that live? Oh, look, Fox News have got it.
Mirror D80s says I turned into a zombie from that bangin' 90s education game called Zumbanus. Mirror D80s says I turned into a zombie from that bangin' 90s education game called Zumbanus.
I don't remember that. Oh, mate, okay. So I'll be back in 4 hours, basically. 4 hours. And it'll be 2 in the morning when this starts happening. So I'll probably be back in 3 hours. We'll get a bit of pre-game in there. It's been really fun. It's been really fun. If you enjoyed it, please consider donating on the links above my head.
Has a stram, I think. Mirror D80s says Donald J. Trim has a stram, I think. Mirror D80s says stream on it.
Oh, nice.
D80s says stream on it.
Bro, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this. Okay, that was fun. See you lot very soon, yeah? See you in about 3 hours.
Blazing Atrium says, Johnny, I've studied the Bible all my life. It's about the rise and fall of the tribes of Jacob cover to cover.
Okay.
Blazing Atrium says,
Noted.
Johnny, I've studied the Bible all my life. It's about the rise and fall of the tribes of Jacob cover to cover. Dawn says, I'm sure Right Side Broadcasting will have Trump's inauguration speech. Dawn says, I'm sure Right Side Broadcasting will have Trump's inauguration speech. Mirror D80 says, God be less. Mirror D80 says, God be less.
Yeah, Right Side Broadcasting does.
Victoria Rockwell says L8RS Johnny everyone. Victoria Rockwell says L8RS Johnny everyone.
Yeah.
D80 says, Blazing Atrium interesting. Mirror D80 says, Blazing Atrium interesting.
You lot very soon. I'm going to get some snack attack.